So these are some legal requirements or procedures you can help with, which you should get skills for. Okay. And that is setting up a liaison office or a branch office in India. Project offices are very, very specific. Project office is a third category where they can enter and they are setting up an office without having an entity here in India. But like that is a very specific category. Okay. What are the sources of getting such work? One is that there are loads of platforms which actually enable remote work for you. Okay, and we have done numerous webinars showing you all of those platforms and showing you, the way to work profiles. That is a beginning that you have, okay, for brushing up or getting into touch with someone who is a foreign client. Okay, and that is how it will actually work through. Okay, that is where it will begin. So immediately you may not have to get, may not be able to get foreign clients who want to establish a presence in India. They might just want certain things. Okay, like I said, for example, we had a liaison office in the beginning, then we converted it into a subsidiary, then we changed the registered office of a subsidiary from Mumbai to Delhi. So ongoing work kept getting created with respect to the entity in India. Now, if you have done work for a foreign company and they have seen you deliver, okay, and they have seen that, okay, the really proper work is coming from this person, so then they will be willing to kind of think or kind of, give you a shot when they are looking to establish a presence in India. Okay, that is one, that is the answer to that question. To give a POA to a person in India to sell their property. Okay, this is like the same thing that I mentioned. If you want to have a document which is signed there, you have to have it legalized. Okay, so you have to have it notarized or legalized by the right person, apostilled by the right person. If it's a non-resident Indian, maybe it is legalized by the Indian embassy in UK. So you have to get the document legalized there in order for it to be effective in India. Okay. Liaison office is an office which people will put up here just to understand the feasibility. Okay, so they want to understand whether it will work, whether a business will work out for them or not. So they are just looking at the feasibility. They are looking at talking to different kind of customers or clients, and they are trying to find out whether establishing a presence here will work out later in times of business or not. So this liaison office is only like, a beginning office. It's not doing any specific income generation work. Is it necessary to be a legal firm, or can they rely on an individual taking up such assignments? Of course, they can rely on an individual taking up the assignments. We had an individual who was a person who would work, but then that individual will be maybe working with different legal firms to get the work done, where he is not doing all the things together. But they like to talk only to that person. So you have to be able to do that. Okay. How to approach and reach out and create effective presence in the eyes of foreign businesses? I believed I answered this question. If you do a few assignments and you have delivered on it, you have delivered on those assignments, there is a credibility that you establish. After that, you can actually look out at, like, that country and India. There are many associations, or there are lots of people where you have Indians in that country. They will have a specific association, or there is some organization which is doing trade between India and that country. There will be associations like that. Okay. So now if you are reaching out to people like that, okay, and you are actually developing contacts with that people, okay, you're not going and asking, give me work, okay, because that is flatly solicitation and you don't want to do that. But you develop a contact with them. How do you do that? You write something that is related to, like, India and trade with that country, and you share that knowledge with them freely. Why not? You can. So you do that, okay? And then if you have got some stars, or if you've got some work that you have actually done with the help of the remote platforms for someone, then you can actually put it on like your social media, okay, and you can say that I'm very happy that I got this great review, or I got this, like, stars or something from a client. I'm very happy to deliver. And the minute that is there, when people see that, it's a credibility that you build by a track record that you've done. Okay? So these are the legal requirements and procedures you can help them with. So setting up a liaison office or a branch office in India. For this, you have some procedures with the RBI. You have some procedures with the registrar of companies in New Delhi. So both of this you will, like, have to be aware of how to work through and how to get through. Okay. Incorporating a subsidiary company in India. Okay, definitely there is a company incorporation related knowledge involved here. So you will have to know how, how companies are incorporated in India. What are the formalities that you need to complete for that? Okay. So all of that, like company incorporation and incorporation related procedures, you must be aware of. Relevant tax registration. Now most tax registrations, like, you incorporate your company and together with that itself you get your PAN and GST registrations. You can, like, it is a combined process, like this kind of making it easy for people to incorporate companies and get all the registration. So that is a combined process that you can do. Most companies will not want labor related registrations immediately. They are still to come. They are to look for, like, lots of different things, find where they can get work, then they will look or think of having a labor related registrations, and the setup and everything might take them a little bit of time, and they don't want to start to becoming subject to, like, compliance requirements already. Usually they will not want label related registrations immediately unless they have a very clear plan. Someone is already there on the ground since a while, looking for and sourcing people, and everything is kind of kept ready. Then they will want even that setup. Indian director requirements. Now we know that in the Companies Act, there is a requirement that you have to have at least one director who is resident in India. And very recently, I believe the residency requirements of a person were relaxed a little bit, but that may not be the case. They may still want someone to become an Indian director or a resident director for them. So this is one requirement people can help to solve, to provide an Indian director, okay, for their company. Because under the Companies Act, a resident director is required. Providing a registered office in India. They may not immediately have an office or a place where they are set up and put up, and, like, they have entered into lease agreements and they have hired and they are already functioning. For the initial period of time, in many cases, it becomes the office of the person who is providing incorporation services to them. So they will use that as a registered office in the initial phases until they come to India. And then after that, they will move on probably to, like, lease something or rent something and then operate that. This is one thing also which can be done. These are the services which can be provided.